Piaget's stages of cognitive development. The first stage of Piaget's cognitive development is sensory motor, which happens when a child is between the ages of 0 and 2 years. The characteristics of this stage are that the child learns by doing, such as looking, touching, and sucking. The child also has a primitive understanding of cause and effect relationships, and object permanence starts appearing around 9 months of age. Babies are not really sure what happens to objects when they leave their sight. Lacey's mom keeps disappearing and reappearing. Peekaboo! This is when peekaboo was so much fun. Around 9 months, babies learn object permanence, when objects still exist even if they can't see them. At Devon's age, babies know to go looking for the object. But sometimes babies make mistakes, like all of us. Even though Devon watched the ball get placed under the yellow blanket, he'll look for it where he last saw it, not where he watched us put it. The second stage of Piaget's stages of cognitive development is pre-operational. This happens when the child is between the ages of 2 and 7 years. The characteristics of this stage are that a child uses language and symbols, including letters and numbers, to communicate. Egocentrism is also apparent. Conservation marks the end of the pre-operational stage and begins the next stage, which is concrete operations. Jess, do you think these two glasses have the same amount of juice?
Yeah, I think they do.
Now we're going to pour this juice into this glass. Now which one has more juice? Or do they have the same amount?
That one has more.
Why do you think that one has more?
Because it's bigger and taller and skinnier.
Okay, Chloe. Does the first row have more? Does the second row have more? Or do they have the same amount?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the same.
Okay, now Chloe, which row has more, or are they the same?
The second one has more.
Why does that one have more?
Because it's longer and just bigger in general.
Okay, Luke, we're going to play a game with graham crackers, and we're going to share them. Do you think we shared them fairly?
No.
Why not?
Because you have 2 and I only have 1.
Okay. Here. Now are they shared evenly?
Yeah, I think so.
How come?
Because we both have 2 graham crackers.
The third stage of Piaget's stages of cognitive development is concrete operations. This happens when a child is between the ages of 7 and 11 years. The characteristics of this stage are that a child demonstrates conservation, reversibility, serial ordering, and mature understanding of cause and effect relationships. Thinking at this stage is still concrete. Okay, Anna, do you think that there is the same amount of juice in this glass and this glass?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to take the juice from this glass and pour it into this glass. Now which one has more, or are they the same?
I think they have the same amount.
How come?
Just because you have one glass bigger and the other one smaller doesn't mean they can't have the same amount, right?
Okay, Ryan, the first rule is that if you hit a glass with a hammer, it will break.
Of course it will.
And the situation is, Dawn hit a glass with a hammer. So, what happened to the glass?
The glass broke.
Okay, so, new rules, new situation. This rule says that if you hit a glass with a feather, it will break.
What? No, it won't.
And the situation is, Dawn hit a glass with a feather. So, what happened to the glass?
Nothing happened to the glass.
Why did nothing happen?
Because a feather's soft.
The fourth and last stage of Piaget's stages of cognitive development is formal operations. This happens when a child is 12 years or older. The characteristics of this stage are the child demonstrates abstract thinking, including logic, deductive reasoning, comparison, and classification. Okay, Max, here is rule 1. If you hit a glass with a feather, it will break.
Okay.
And here's the situation. Dawn hit a glass with a feather. What happened to the glass?
It broke because the rule said so?
Yay, abstract thinking!